Dear students, you already discussed there are various major challenges to Indian democracy like inequality, illiteracy, communalism and terrorism. The one more important challenges to Indian democracy is corruption. We know that India is largest democratic country in the world. However, India is also successfully working, the democratic system successfully working, although it is not completely successful because of these the major problems or the challenges to Indian democracy. Today's class we will discuss about the corruption. Corruption is as old as human history. It is argued that corruption everywhere in one or other forms. It is the opinion of Kautilya, the famous philosopher as well as the author of Arthashastra, opined that corruption as it is impossible not to taste the honey that finds itself at the top of the tongue, it is impossible for a government official not to eat up at least a bit of king's revenue. So, the concept of corruption is everywhere because of the nature of human being. He is basically selfish and greedy. So, what is corruption? Let us discuss the meaning of corruption. It is the opinion of David H. Bailey as misuse of authority for the consideration of personal gains. According to David H. Bailey, corruption as misuse of authority for the consideration of personal gains. How a person or a publicly authorized person misuse the power for gaining something for the personal benefit. Corruption may be in the form of unofficial fees, commissions, or gifts, or bribes, or payoff, or scam, or kickbacks, or otherwise speedy money, afta, or greasing of palms. Different forms are there. A person can get benefit either through the money or through the material. That is why it is saying that corruption is defined as the misuse of one's position. It is the misuse of one's position directly or indirectly for personal benefit in the form of money or material gain. So, we can give the correct meaning to the corruption is misuse of one's position. The government official or the representative of the people may misuse his position or his power directly or indirectly for personal benefit in the form of money or material gain. Actually, the civil servants or bureaucrats are appointed for the service to the people, for the service of the people. Their purpose is service because they are getting good salary and other facilities. They should not think about any money or misuse of power in the society. So we can say this is the major problem of Indian democracy. I hope that you are all clear about the meaning of corruption. Now let us know the various causes for the corruption. What are the causes for having corrupt activities in the society? The first and foremost cause is greediness of man. Man basically involved with the corruptive activities because of greediness. We know that according to Thomas Hobbes, man by nature selfish, acquisitive, aggressive and greedy. Because of this nature, he is trying to misuse the power and collect more and more wealth of the public. In this regard, we have to know that India is a land of great values. The great persons like Harishchandra or Buddha or Mahatma Gandhi ji or Jayaprakash Narayan, they given noble values to Indian society. But it is unfortunate for us in such a sacred land, at present almost all the public servants are involved with the corrupt activities. That is the major phenomena. We know that almost all people, they are involved with the corruptive nature or even nepotism or favoritism or cronyism everywhere. Nowadays, for them, end justifies the means. But Mahatma Gandhi ji preached that there should be a good end with the good means. So, this is the major and important reason for having corruption in India. The second one is selfishness. It is argued that service to the people is service to God. In ancient period, in Rome or in France, there was a thought that service to the people, service to God. But this principle nowadays completely neglected by the people who are working in public places. They are using the power for their own benefit. They work for their own benefit, not for the benefit of the society. That is the another major cause for having corruption. The another important cause is corrupt politicians. In India, we have good system of election commission. The Election Commission of India has various disciplinary actions and good procedures adopted. Although because of money power, because of muscle power, politicians are misusing their power. Votes are being purchased. In India, votes are being purchased and voters are misguided. Voters sometimes they are losing their values in front of the money or wealth. This is the pathetic condition of India. So, corrupt politicians also misguide the people in everywhere. The one more problem or otherwise one more reason for having corruption is lack of morality. We know that in Indian society, morality is playing very important role. Moral values are very, very important. Morality decides whether our action right or wrong, justice or injustice. That is why in the modern period, people are losing moral values. It is argued that parents or the elders at home give proper moral values to the children. In a classroom, teachers must give importance to the moral values. It is said that the destiny of the country is shaped in classrooms. Deterioration of moral values leads to corruption. So, these are the four important causes for having corruption in India. They are greediness, selfishness, corrupt politicians and lack of morality. How it affects to the Indian democracy? How it is hurdle or hindrance or problems in the way of successful working of democratic system in India, that we have to discuss. Corruption is a menace or obstacle in the way of democratic system because power politics. It is argued that if there is a corruption or misuse of power for personal benefit, that leads power politics. Today, Nehru's goodness politics is replaced by power politics. In a political system, money power or muscle power is playing a dominant role. Politics has become a gainful profession to make money and to get publicity in a modern period. So, corruption leads power politics. The another important obstacle is criminalization of politics. Today in politics, criminal activities we can observe everywhere. The prevalence of large scale criminalization of politics has increased illegal expenditure on elections. We know that in Indian politics, criminalization also playing important role. It is obstacle to Indian development. The another important obstacle is demoralization of bureaucracy. Demoralization of bureaucracy means the civil servants or bureaucrats, they are losing their moral values for money or otherwise for misuse of power. They are not thinking about the values. Indian society, moral values are playing important part. Corruption takes in the form of favoritism or red tapeism or nepotism, etc., because of administrative corruption. The another important problem is violation of social justice. It is definitely problem to democracy because of violation of social justice. The poor people, they must get social justice with the support of educated and learned persons. Because of corruption, rich people enjoying their life because of concentration of wealth, they are neglecting completely socio-economic justice. So in India, everywhere we can observe poverty because of this system of corruption. So these are the major problems we can identify because of corruption. How we can prevent or eliminate the corruption? The government of India, that is union government as well as state government, passed various anti-corruption acts in which the Prevention of Corruption Act 1947 and 1988 have enacted by both governments. And the central government or union government established CBI for the eradication of corruption in India. The union government or central government established a institutional mechanism is nothing but CBI, Central Bureau of Investigation, in 1960. CBI established in India in 1963, and in 1964 CVC also created. CVC also created Central Vigilance Commission. Central Vigilance Commission to prevent corruption in India. These two mechanisms or institutional mechanisms have the power to investigate corrupt persons or misconduct of public servants. CBI and CVC have the power to conduct investigation against corrupt servants in India. Later in India, there is a slogan for the establishment of strict investigative authority against the corruption. The first Administrative Reform Commission, headed by then Prime Minister of India, Mr. Morarji Desai, recommended for Sweden-based ombudsman type of institution. Accordingly, the center have Lokapal and states can have Lokayuktas. Since then, several attempts have been made to pass the bill, but it failed. The movement India Against Corruption was led by Anna Hazare in the year 2011. The major movement India Against Corruption led by Anna Hazare in the year 2011. Demands from various civil services and demands from various civil organizations for Indian Ombudsman compelled the Union government to introduce the bill. In the year 2012. Finally, the bill was passed on 1st January 2013. The Lokapal bill was finally passed in the year 2013. 1st January 2013, the Lokapal bill was passed by the Union government. So, at present we have in all India level, there is a Lokapal, and in the state level Lokayukta. What about the Lokapal? How it is organized? How it is functioning? That we have to discuss. The institution of Lokapal has totally 9 members. The institution of Lokapal has totally 9 members, including the chairman. It is the rule that chairman must be the retired Chief Justice of Supreme Court or sitting judge of Supreme Court. It is the rule that chairman must be the retired Chief Justice of Supreme Court or sitting judge of Supreme Court. The other members, out of 8 members, 4 must be the judges, either Supreme Court or High Court. The remaining 4 members must have 25 years experience in vigilance commissions, and they must be non-political. They should not involved or they should not participate in any political parties. That is the rule in the appointment of Lokapal. It is the procedure in the appointment of Lokapal. Who appoint the Lokapal? The appointment committee must consist the Prime Minister of India, Speaker of Lok Sabha and leader of the opposition party, and also Chief Justice of Supreme Court. The appointment committee must consist the Prime Minister of India, Speaker of Lok Sabha, leader of the opposition party and Chief Justice of India and other eminent juries. What is the term of Lokapal? The term of Lokapal is 5 years. The term of Lokapal is 5 years. They can be removed from the post if they involved anti-national activities or any other illegal activities by the President of India after enquiry conducted by the Supreme Court. The members of Lokapal may be removed from their post after enquiry conducted by the Supreme Court. The jurisdiction of Lokapal covers employees of union government, including the Prime Minister, ministers, Member of Parliament, as well as state legislatures. Lokapal can conduct enquiry against Prime Minister of India, other ministers, members of both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and also members of the state legislature. What are the powers and functions of Lokapal? Lokapal has the power to sanction prosecution against public servants. It is the power of the Lokapal to sanction prosecution against public servants. For this, Lokapal need not take the permission of government or departmental head. Lokapal need not take any permission to conduct enquiry against the government or departmental head. The another power of the Lokapal is all organizations receiving donations from foreign services come under the jurisdiction of Lokapal. The donations from the foreign countries which are received by any organizations in India, they can come under the control of the Lokapal. Then Lokapal has the power to superintendence over any probe agency for the cases referred by it. Then provision also included for confiscation and attachment of property acquired by corrupt means. Lokapal has the power to supervise any probe agency for cases referred by it. If the corruption charges are proved after conducting the enquiry or investigation, if the corruption is proved, the concerned officials have to undergo 2-year jail term. Then Lokapal Act also says that the states have to appoint Lokayukta within 1 year from the commencement of the Lokapal Act. So these are the various powers and functions of the Lokapal. The present Lokapal is Justice. The present Lokapal is Justice Pinaki Chandra Ghosh. Pinaki Chandra Ghosh. In India, at present, Lokapal is Justice Pinaki Chandra Ghosh. Next, we will discuss about the Lokayukta. In the state level, the investigative authority is called Lokayukta. Though Lokayukta was first introduced in India by Odisha government. Maharashtra was the first state to implement the Lokayukta in the state in 1973. In Karnataka, Lokayukta was enacted in the year 1984. The government headed by Sri Ramakrishna Hegde adopted this institution in the year 1984. Lokayukta has the power to investigate the allegation against officials like corruption, favoritism, nepotism or injustice and other grievances. It does not include the judges, speaker or chairman or accountant general or chairman and members of State Public Service Commission and judges of civil and criminal court. The Lokayukta receives the petition from the public and conduct enquiries. It has power to raid on the houses and office of corrupt officials. The appointment committee of Lokayukta consists the Chief Minister, the Chief Justice of High Court, Speaker of Assembly, Chairman of Council and Leader of the Opposition Party. Lokayukta is appointed for the term of 5 years. The term of Lokayukta is also 5 years. They can be removed by the governor of the state if they are incapable or if they involved in any illegal activities. They can be removed by the governor on the charge of misbehavior or incapacity proved by the state legislature by 2/3 majority. Who can become the Lokayukta? It is the rule that the retired judge of Supreme Court or Chief Justice of High Court can be appointed as Lokayukta, and retired judge of High Court can be appointed as Upalokayuktas. The present Lokayukta of Karnataka is Justice P. Vishwanatha Shetty. The present Lokayukta of Karnataka is Justice P. Vishwanatha Shetty, and B.S. Patil and N. Ananda are the Upalokayuktas. B.S. Patil and N. Ananda are the Upalokayuktas. What are the powers and functions of Lokayukta? Lokayukta can discuss the matters related to the subject to the provisions of the act. Lokayukta may investigate any action which is taken or with the general or specific approval of the chief minister or ministers or member of state legislature or chairman or deputy chairman or a member of authority or board, etc. In any case where a complaint involving a grievance or an allegation is made in respect of such action, Lokayukta can investigate the public servant, a post or office carrying fixed salary more than 20,000 as may be received from time to time. It is the duty of Lokayukta, after inquiry, if the allegation is proved, can make a declaration with regard to the governor or chief minister of the state to the vacation of the office of the said official. So these are the some important powers and functions of Lokayukta. Dear students, however, whatever types of acts are there, the public must be vigilant to eradicate or to eliminate the bad system of corruption in India. We, the people, especially the youths and the students, must carefully observe, and they must be vigilant and aware, and they fight against the bad system of corruption. Then only we can avoid or prevent corruption in India.